Hello and welcome to 3 Minute Gaming. I'm Nathan, and today I'm going to tell you if this game's their time and bandwidth. Today's game is Brotato. It's time to visit daily life in Idaho. Brotato gives the Spuds guns in this wave-based survival game, but is it worth playing? Let's find out. Brotato is an arena-based roguelike shooter about what happens when root vegetables have finally had enough. The game is structured like a typical wave-based survivor-style game, where each wave you'll fend off infinitely responding enemies via auto-fire until time runs out, grabbing resources they drop for both cash and XP. Between waves, you'll level up and have the option to purchase modifiers for your Brotato to craft the build that you're going for. Most abilities are passives and can boost or reduce many of the game's multiple stat variables, with the other purchasable being weapons. Like real-life potatoes, you can hold up to 6 weapons, and merging 2 of the same weapon will upgrade you to a different tier. Getting multiple weapons of the same type can also provide bonuses. After 20 waves, you either fight or survive a boss to win, or it can transition into endless mode. The catch is, while there's no persistent upgrades like in some roguelikes, instead doing a bunch of different tasks will unlock new gear to purchase in future runs, or new Brotatoes to try. The multiple classes are what give the game its replay value, as each class is essentially a puzzle to try and solve how to maximize their build potential. After winning, you unlock harder difficulties up to 5 that add enemies, mini-bosses, elites, and more. And honestly, that's Brotato. There's no hidden modes or permanent upgrades or crafting systems or fishing minigames or microtransactions. It's just you, an oddly pale tater, and a whole bunch of enemies to murder. So what do I like about Brotato? Well, simplicity is definitely this game's strength. The basic survivor concept paired with the real game being build crafting means you can laser focus on accomplishing that goal, which, given the large number of classes, makes each run a puzzle. And speaking of classes, while not really balanced, they are definitely what gives this game its longevity, as their modifiers are significant and require skill to play, as well as gear and build analysis to win. And lastly, this game is incredibly addicting, as runs are relatively quick, items are powerful, and unlocks come fast, so there's always something new and cool to check out. When it comes to the bad, while the difficulty settings do modify waves somewhat, overall there's really just one map with the same set number of spawns regardless of class. The experience can definitely get samey. Additionally, failure can often come unexpected without you knowing for sure where your build messed up, as certain waves are difficulty spikes, and dying without winning basically feels like you haven't accomplished anything. And lastly, early portions of these levels are a little bit dull, and since you'll be experiencing them a lot, it makes me wish there was some mode that tripled the number of enemies or something early on to give a better high-risk, high-reward mode. I guess I could always just pick the loud Brotato. As you know, I rate games here on a 3-point scale: must play, maybe consider, and don't bother. And despite its simple premise and appearance, Brotato excels at being an addicting build crafting spud-based experience. Its simplicity paired with a good amount of challenge makes it a hard game to put down, and the huge number of classes give insane replay value. This is pretty much the perfect game to play while listening to podcasts. So if you enjoy roguelike distilled to their absolute essence, Brotato is the game for you. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Have you played Brotato? I actually covered it in a previous video where I went over a bunch of Vampire Survivors clones, but it was fun to replay through the whole thing again on Game Pass. Regardless, I want to know what you think, so please let me know in the comments, and then go out there and give Brotato a look.